Guys. Subscribe! It's pretty common for an artist to blow up after passing away. I'm sure we've all seen this before with people like X, Lil Peep and Mac Miller, where their end of their life is actually the start of their career. It's sad, but there's something about someone passing away that makes you acknowledge that they existed in the first place. Everybody likes to romanticize tragedy like, oh,
his art wasn't appreciated until he died. Oh.
And I get it, it's entertaining, it's beautiful and dark.
Like me.
But everyone piles on this story mostly because depression is an aesthetic. People will develop a sheep-like mentality when someone famous passes away, because you will undoubtedly start to see a large group of people posting their Snapchat or Instagram story.
Oh, Rip X taking away from us too soon.
Even though you know for a fact that this person had no idea who X was until he died. Which sounds like I'm gatekeeping, but I'm really not, because I didn't know who X was until he died. I didn't really start listening to Juice WRLD until he passed away too. But I never felt the need to pretend I was like a huge fan beforehand. Even if I was a huge fan, I still wouldn't really have this reaction, because I understand that posting RIP Juice WRLD on my Instagram or Snapchat story isn't going to bring him back. It's almost like you're treating his death like a trend. It has about the same level of effect as spreading awareness for cancer. Yet I see constantly on social media people crying real tears for someone who didn't even know they existed. Which begs the question, is death really that tragic? Ooh. Death is a natural part of life. It's inevitable for a lot of living beings. You too will die one day. However, the emotional impact and level of tragedy associated with death can be deeply influenced by factors such as the circumstances of death and the age of the person who died. So if you were a 21-year-old and you got run over by a bus because you were rubbernecking, then that would be very sad. Very funny, but very sad. But if you were caught in the middle of a crossfire, then that would be a more tragic death, because it's almost like you died for nothing. Some religious and spiritual perspectives view death differently. Some belief systems see death as a natural transition or a passage to another form of existence. These perspectives don't really see death as like a tragedy, but rather as a greater part of existence. Which sounds like some nice chicken soup for the soul, but personally, I think once you're dead, that's it. That's it, bro. RIP. But I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think happens when you die? A popular artist's death usually triggers strong emotions from people, especially when they are chronically online. Like when Juice WRLD died, people were actually posting online videos of them crying, which honestly is very strange. I like Juice WRLD as much as the next guy, but I wasn't crying. Like guys, am I being mean? Cry personally, bro. I think if Beyonce died, I think I would cry. My biggest L is not being old enough for Beyonce, bro. The guys that get too emotionally attached to artists will 100% become gatekeepers. The type of people that say things like, oh, we need to keep him a secret. You all need to realize that when an artist blows up after dying, a lot of the money they make goes to their family, so that it's not a waste. Don't keep them a secret. The mentality of a gatekeeper is extremely selfish, because a lot of them aren't really true fans, because if they were, they would want the best for the artist. But the energy is more, we need to keep him a secret, because knowing about him makes me feel special. It gives the same energy as those people that like, what's it called? You know the Chinese street racing music? Funk. The word GOAT gets thrown around so much that it's lost all its meaning, because anyone with a slightly large follow can be considered the GOAT. Even me with my immense sub count of 2,000 gets called the GOAT sometimes. And it's like, am I? Compared to people like Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast, do I really deserve the title of GOAT? Probably not. And that's okay, which is why I find it kind of funny when people label artists GOATs just because they aren't alive anymore. I genuinely believe that if someone like 6ix9ine passed away today, bro, everyone would start calling him the GOAT. People would deadass start calling him one of the greats of our generation.
Like, bro, remember all those bangers he released, dude? Like Fifi, Kiki, and Zaza.
I'm not even disrespecting the dead, I'm just saying, it's okay to realize that they weren't God's gift to music. A perfect example of what I'm talking about is someone like King Von.
Let's be honest, bro. Von was like, okay, like, was X really that good?
Better scramble like an egg before you get.
I don't know. It's up to you, dog. Music taste is completely subjective, which is another word for I am scared of the X fans. A lot of the dead artists become aesthetics. Every fourth person on TikTok has like a Juice WRLD animated profile picture, and their music often becomes like background audio for like sad videos. Like for example, Losing Interest. And I know Charlotte Dynasty isn't dead, but it's the perfect example of what I'm talking about.
trenches. You won't find no better than this. I swear, girl.
It can make anything, no matter how trivial, seem sad. Dead artists are so worshipped that they are pretty much immortalized, which is actually a good thing, because it means their music will actually never die. With the amount of times I still hear people like Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke, Lil Peep, you'd never guess that they actually passed away. I'll scroll on YouTube sometimes and I'll see that X released a new song like 2 weeks ago.
Here's why XXXTentacion is actually still alive. X was murdered on June 18th, 2018, which broke the hearts of the entire world. There's a
It's the reason that to this day, artists like Michael Jackson can still trend on newer apps like TikTok, even though he died like a decade and a half ago. Artists like musicians, painters, writers, or actors often leave a lasting impact throughout their work. So when an artist dies, their work becomes more important and their fanbase develops like a sense of loyalty. However, I think people take this appreciation too far to the point where they make the artist responsible for their mental health. Like even I, with my immense sub count of 2,000, got people messaging me on Instagram telling me that I cured the depression with my videos, which nostalgia is also a reason why people idolize dead artists, because they often leave strong emotions with their audience to their heart. The only time I have ever cried when a celebrity died was Chadwick Boseman, bro. Sometimes I like to rewatch Black Panther illegally, just to remember the good old days when everyone would scream Wakanda forever for no reason. Those were the good days, man. You know, that shit actually hurt me because Chadwick Boseman was one of the few black celebrities that didn't disappoint me, bro. You know what? That's my next video right there. Black people that disappoint me. I don't know if I want that smoke though. I don't know. Number 1, KSI. A parasocial relationship happens when a fan thinks they have some sort of friendship with a media persona, which is bad because, well, as cringe as I think it is, the death of an artist can be deeply emotional for their fan base. It can be like losing a friend or someone who's had an impact in their life. Speaking of weird, AI is developing at a crazy rate. A lot of people have been able to make some crazy things with AI. AI can now mimic voices. I'll try to find a video if I can.
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City? I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in our enemy's eyes. Don't pay what the shake and don't forget that.
Lil Uzi Vert might not even show up to the studio. They just have like a motherfucking little AI motherfucker just doing it for them.